Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. So today we are going to discuss the next question of our agriculture optional answer writing series. But before starting, we must let you know one thing that our aim for agriculture test series, aim for agriculture optional test series is going to start from 8th of June. Okay. Aim for agriculture optional test series. So it is going to start from 8th of June and it will cover 14 tests, that is 8 sectional and 6 full test. So it will cover 14 tests and this will finish on 16th or around 16th of August. The full schedule is uploaded in the group if you want to see. So those who are preparing for mains or those who are going to appear this year mains, so this series is a must for them. And I must add one thing that all the copies of yours will be very nicely evaluated. Most of the questions will be directly asked from the series only, test series only. Last year we saw that uh, around 50% of the questions were directly or from the topics asked in the test series only. So if you join this test series, it will be a huge benefit for you, and the price is just rupees 99.99. So this is the fact key here, because most of our students do not afford, are not able to afford that amount of hefty price which is charged by coaching institutes. If you go to any coaching institute, they will charge more than, I think, 8,000, 10,000. This is the price, and we are providing you the same number, even higher number of tests, which most of them are providing, I think, taking 9,000, 10,000 for 8 tests, 10 tests, 12 tests. So we are providing more number of tests also, and we are very much cheaper also. I think we can say that 1/10 cheaper, and only 20 seats are there, and I think 5-6 seats are already filled, so only 20 seats are there. So if you want to join fast, because I will not breach this mark, because the students who know me also know that at any cost we are not going to breach this mark. So if you want to join us, please message on us WhatsApp number 77818 33 440. So this is the WhatsApp number where you can message 77818 33 440. So please do message us and please do join the series as fast as you can, because the seats are limited and the price is also low. And at this only you will get the quality evaluation, quality questions. So that will be helpful for you. So this was about the test series. Now let's move to the question. So the question asked today is, give an account of criteria for selecting component crops for intercropping system. So how will you select the component crops for intercropping system? So this is the question. So we will see how we can answer this. So first of all, why this component crop is needed in intercropping system? So you should be understanding what intercropping system is. What actually intercropping system is. So it is a kind of cropping system in which more than two or more than two crops are grown in the same field, grown in the same area in a definite arrangement, in a definite arrangement. So this is the key here, definite arrangement, because you have heard about term mixed cropping. Okay, various times UPSC can ask you the difference between intercropping and mixed cropping also. So the major difference is that the both are same only, but in intercropping this arrangement is definite, but in mixed cropping there is no definite arrangement. Okay, so suppose this is the land where we are going to grow do intercropping. So there is definite. Suppose we are taking the crop, let it be, we are taking maize with groundnut. Okay, for example, maize with groundnut. So suppose one row we have maize, then two rows we have groundnut. Then again we will have one row of maize, then two rows of groundnut. Then again we have one row of maize. So there is a definite pattern. Okay, one row of maize, then two row of groundnut. One row of maize, then two row of groundnut. And this definite pattern will be seen in the complete land. But when it's come to mixed cropping, there is no definite pattern. Okay, it is haphazard. In mixed cropping, what happens? Seeds are mixed in a lot and they are sown. So what happens? Suppose there is a maize, so let it be some groundnuts are growing near them, then maize, then groundnut, and then I think in 2-3 rows there is continuously maize, and there is no groundnut. So this is possibility. So there is no definite arrangement in mixed cropping, but there is a definite arrangement in intercropping. So this is the difference between mixed cropping and intercropping, and this is a very simple and very good definition of intercropping. So I hope you understand this. So what happens here? So here maize and groundnut are used. So this maize and groundnut are component crops. So one will be the main crop and one will be the component crop. Okay, so suppose here our priority is for maize. So maize is the main crop, but if you are using groundnut, it will be a component crop. So how will you select a component crop? And if our priority is groundnut, obviously maize will have a component crop. So there will be a main crop and component crop in the intercropping system. So how will you choose or how will you select the component crops? That is the question. So I think in introduction part you can make a definition of the intercropping. Then you can move to the criteria. So criteria for selecting component crops. So let's see what is the criteria. So the first criteria here is use of, or you should see that the both the crops have complementary growth habits. Complementary growth habits. So actually there are two growths in plant. One is the shoot growth and one is the root growth. So we will see only canopy structure, that is shoot growth, and root depth. So these two plants should be complementing each other here. So suppose when it comes to canopy and structure, suppose one crop, uh, both the crops should be of different height. Suppose both the crops is same height, so they will start to compete. Same type of canopy, they will start to compete for sunlight. They will start to compete for other resources. So what we have to see that both the crops are of different heights, and the canopy architecture is like that both the crops do not compete with each other. For example, I have given, you can give example here of maize, which is tall, and you can give example of your groundnut, which is low growing. So what we see here, that the maize is complementing with groundnut and they are not competing with each other for resources. So this is especially the resources here will be the sunlight. So this is the first thing. Secondly comes to root depth. So here we should always try to keep in mind that if one crop is of low root depth, other crop should be of shallow root depth. So what happens? Suppose one crop is of high root depth, deep root depth, and one shallow root depth. So it will take the moisture or nutrients from this part of the field, and this will take the moisture and nutrients from this part of the field. And if both the crops have similar root depth, there will be competition. So reduce this competition, we should keep this in example, keep this in mind. For example, you can give that pigeon pea, which is deep rooted, can be intercropped with mung bean. So mung bean here is shallow rooted. So this is what can be done. So I hope you understand this. And as the patterns of answer writing in agriculture optional have changed a lot, if you see in the last 5 to 6 years, so you should be specific. Wherever required, you need to give examples, you need to give uh, uh, some quotes, no, not quotes, some data or some kind of statements to support your points. Support here you have given, if you simply write complementary growth habits, they will not fetch you a good marks. They will be giving you generic marks and you will not able to get through the competition. So what you have to do, that you have to be specific, support your points through examples, through statements, through various discussions, dialogues. So that could be helpful. So this is the first point, that is complementary habits. Secondly, the maturity periods should be different maturity periods. different maturity periods. Why? Suppose one crop is both the crop are having peak season, or you can say peak growth at similar periods, and if they mature at similar periods, there will be competition for resources. So with different maturity periods, we do not only reduce the resource demand, we can also reduce our labor management and other things. For example, here short duration intercrops. Short duration crops can be intercropped with long duration crops. Okay, so this can be done here, and your homework is to write an example of short duration crop and a long duration crop which can be intercropped. Because if you write these things in your notes by your own self, it will help you to remember them. So this is your homework. So, and do comment in, let me know in the comment about short duration and long duration crops which can complement each other in intercropping. So this is your homework for today. Now, number third could be nutrient complementarity. Nutrient complementarity. Why nutrient? They should complement each other in nutrients. For example, you can grow some legume which can fix atmospheric nitrogen with some cereal crop. Why legume? Because legume will fix nitrogen, it will do nitrogen fixation, and this nitrogen will be helpful for this cereal crop. So here you can also give example. So this is also your homework to know, let me know a legume and a cereal crop which are complementing each other in intercropping. So this will be your homework, and do let me know in comment. And one I am writing, next to you will have to write in comment. Okay, so for legume, this here copy could be a legume, and here sorghum could be the cereal. So sorghum plus copy could be a intercropping where nutrient complementarity can be seen. Copy is complementing sorghum in providing this nitrogen. So this is another component. Next, pest and disease management. We should focus on pest and disease management. So here you should try to focus that the crops are not, we should not take those crops which are susceptible to same kind of pests and diseases. Okay, suppose there is a crop A and there is a crop B, and it is susceptible to same kind of pest, and this is susceptible to same kind of pest. So what will happen if some pest attacks here, it will also attack here because they are susceptible to same kind of pest. So what we'll have to try, we have to try to intercrop unrelated families. Intercrop unrelated families, plants of unrelated families, so that the susceptibility of both the crops is different and they are protected from pests and diseases. Next, growth duration and seasonal adaptability. So here we should keep in mind that the growth duration and the requirements of the both the crops do not compete with each other. Suppose one is a water intensive crop, water should be other should be water extensive crop. One is taking more amount of water, one is taking less amount of water. So, and secondly, seasonal adaptability. Why? Because they have to adapt to a certain season. If they are not able to adapt to a similar season, they will be not able to grow together. So we should select crops that match the local climate. For example, the water availability of the local area, the temperature of that area, the day length. So they should be complementing each other, or there should be similarity in this so that they can grow properly. Next, next will be the allelopathic compatibility. Allelopathic compatibility. So what is allelopathy? That is, plants release certain kinds of chemical, release certain kinds of allelopathic chemicals which can be harmful for the intercrop. Okay, suppose the main crop is releasing certain kind of chemical which is harmful for the component crop. Obviously, component crop will not be able to survive. So we have to keep this in mind. For example, we have sorghum. So sorghum shows allelopathy with some crops. So we should keep in mind, if you're planting, if you're doing intercrop with sorghum, we should always choose crops which do not get affected from the allelopathic effect of sorghum. So that is another point. Harvesting compatibility should be there. Harvesting compatibility, that is, both the crops should allow ease of management and harvesting, without damaging each other. Okay, suppose we are harvesting one crop, so the other crop should be like that it is not getting damaged by the harvesting of one crop. So here we should keep in mind. Next, obviously, economic value and market demand. Economic value and market demand. So we should go for the crops which are demanded in market, which will get a certain economic value, so that our profitability and our marketability of each component crop ensure economic sustainability. So what you should keep in mind: profit and sustainability. So both the things should be kept in mind. Next, labor and input requirements. There are various points. I'm just giving a brief. If you write 5-6 points, that will be enough for a 10 marker. Labor and input requirements. We should ensure that the labor and resource demands are manageable and they do not overlap excessively. Suppose labor demand is when labor demand is required in one crop, it is being also required in another crop at the same time. So it should be complementary and not competitive. So that should be kept in mind. Obviously, at last, environmental sustainability, as the era is of sustainability. So environmental sustainability should be kept in mind. Choose crops which are sustainable in nature, which reduce erosion, which support soil health, and which contribute to biodiversity instead of harming our cropland. So that should be kept in mind. So I think this will be enough 10 points we have mentioned, and wherever you can use example, you can use certain amount of statements to support your points so that you can get good marks. So this was all for today, and I think you should conclude positively. In conclusion, please do mention why good component crops will help us to achieve the best of yields and best of profits. So that is good for and always we should always try to keep in mind about sustainability. So profits, sustainability, and the empowerment of farmers also, because if there will be higher profits, obviously farmer will be empowered. So all these things can be written in conclusion, and I think that is all for today. If you like it, please press the like button, please do share, and please do subscribe. It takes a lot of hard work to make such videos for you on regular basis, and if you like, if you share, if you subscribe, it motivates us to make more such videos for you regularly. And at the end, please do join this test series, because it will help you a lot. You see through the videos only what kind of answers we provide to you, how we enrich your answers. So if you join the test series, it will be more beneficial for you, because end of the day, practice matters. How much you will write, how much you will be able to get through in the exam. Okay, so that is all for today. Please join the test series, and it is available for 9.99. Message us on WhatsApp number 77818 33440. So that is all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you.